The architecture of the fact. Most people live their lives in a state of curated fiction. They wake up, they put on their social masks, and they pretend that their desires are linear, simple, predictable, and normal. But I have spent 15 years in the high-stakes laboratories of the bedroom, and I have found that normal is just a lack of imagination. I am Felicia. To the casual observer, I am a bombshell, a term as reductive as it is common. They see the African-American gold of my skin, polished to a high-gloss finish by oils that cost more than their monthly rent. They see a body that defies the traditional geometry of the feminine, a waist that tapers into a structural impossibility, leading into hips that carry the weight of 1,000 fantasies. They see the best body known to man, and they think they are looking at a prize. They are wrong. They are looking at a fact. In the world of high-level erotica, a fetish is the only undeniable truth. It is the hard-coded data of the subconscious. When a man tells me he wants to be silenced, or a woman tells me she needs the weight of cold steel against her throat, they aren't telling me a story. They are revealing the tectonic plates of their identity. I don't provide fiction. I provide the environment where their facts can breathe. The professionalism of the Enchanter. My career began in the gilded suites of the world's capitals, London, Tokyo, Dubai. I wasn't just an escort, I was a biological cartographer. I realized early on that my beauty was a Trojan horse. It allowed me to enter the most private chambers of the powerful and the repressed. I watched the CEO of a Fortune 500 company weep at the touch of a specific lace. I watched the most stoic figures crumble under the weight of a single whispered command. I made a fortune not because of my curves, but because I understood the precision of the trigger. I learned that every human being has a lock. Most people spend their entire lives never finding the key, or worse, being terrified of what happens if the door opens. I became the key maker. I became the Enchanter. I realized that my presence, this bombshell aesthetic paired with a cold, analytical mind, was the perfect conductor for the erotic virus. The theory of contagion. The most profound discovery of my career is that fetish is contagious. It is a sensory pathogen. You think you know what you like until you see it through my eyes. You think you are immune to the weird until I wrap it in the velvet of my voice and the heat of my skin. I don't just fulfill your existing desires. I colonize your mind with new ones. I am a carrier. I bring the filth from the shadows into the light and make it look like art. Once you see the beauty in the abnormal, once you feel the electrical surge of a taboo being broken in my presence, your old life is over. You are infected. You will spend the rest of your days trying to catch that same high, trying to find the fact that I birthed in you. The scene. The deconstruction of the basic. Tonight, the setting is a suite overlooking the city. The lights below are a blur of frantic, unchanneled energy. My client is a man who prides himself on his simplicity. He sits on the edge of the velvet chair, his eyes tracing the line of my collarbone, then dropping to the swell of my chest, then the curve of my thighs. He thinks this is a standard transaction. I am wearing a structured, obsidian-colored latex bodysuit that acts as a second skin. It highlights every nuance of the goddess form, the ripple of muscle, the absolute stillness of the waist. The scent is a mixture of high-end rubber and the warm, musk-heavy pheromones of my own body. You told me you have no secrets, I say. the words vibrating in the small space between us. You told me you just wanted a classic night. I walk toward him, the sound of the latex a soft rhythmic hiss. I don't touch him yet. I let the fact of my presence do the work. I lean in, the heat from my skin radiating against his face. But I see the way your pulse jumps when I don't blink. I whisper. I see the way you look at the floor, wanting to be lower than you are. You aren't basic, Benjamin. You are just uncatalogued. I begin the enchantment. I describe a scenario of total sensory deprivation, where the only thing that exists is the pressure of my gaze and the weight of my command. I use words that act as scalpels, peeling back the layers of his normalcy. I watch as the contagion takes hold. His pupils swallow the iris. His breathing becomes a shallow, rhythmic hitch. By the time I place a single gloved finger against his lips, he is no longer the man who walked in. He is a devotee. He has discovered that his fact is a fetish he never knew he had, and he will never be cured.